All right. We should be live for another day of politics and other things. Many other things. Look, I've been on a bit of a hiatus in terms of like the daily streams. Just kind of waiting for Parliament to come back. I don't really feel like covering a lot of the crazy American shit that's been going on. I just have no interest in it, and I'm also Canadian, so who cares what I have to say about what Donald Trump does at the end of the day? And I'm gonna make that clear from now on. Like, I'll talk about U.S. stuff every now and again, and we got a couple U.S. videos to go through here. But at the end of the day, who cares what I have to say about Donald Trump? Like, let's be real here. Anyway, we have a few things to go over, so let me get live on Rumble and Kick. Let me get all of these things up. We have Andrew Lawton. Andrew Lawton doing a Saskatoon town hall, conservative rally, whatever you want to call it. Looks like it's a pretty packed room. That's good to see. I personally like Andrew Lawton quite a bit in terms of a MP. At least compared to other conservative MPs. Rumble did not switch over. Of course. Alright. Let's get right into this town hall. Then I got a tweet to go over very briefly. Tyler Oliveira video to go into. Then a Moose on the Loose video. We got a little schedule packed today. Let's get right into it.
The regard it has for people of faith and for the fundamental freedom to express your faith. People will often talk about this idea of separating church from state. We are actually trying to do that. We are trying to separate the state from the church to ensure that politicians are not determining what ministers, imams, rabbis, and other faith leaders are allowed to preach, what scriptures you're allowed to cite. The only way we can stop this is by banding together, raising the stakes, making sure the Liberal government knows that people of faith and people who value freedom of expression will not accept this.
Sheila Gunn Reid for Rebel News. I'm here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, actually the Saskatoon Inn. You see, the Conservative Party of Canada is hosting a town hall on Bill C-9. That is the Liberal government's latest attack on religious freedom. The town hall itself is hosted by Conservative MP and former independent journalist Andrew Lawton, as well as the local MP Kelly Block. Now, for those of you who don't know, Bill C-9 could potentially criminalize the things said by our pastors from their pulpits, and it's got strong support from the Liberal Party. Just look at this.
In Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Romans, there's other passages, there is clear hatred towards, for example, homosexuals. I don't understand how the concept of good faith could be invoked if someone were literally invoking a passage from, in this case, the Bible, but there are other religious texts that say the same thing, and somehow say that this is good faith. I mean, clearly there are situations in these texts where these statements are hateful. They should not be used to invoke or be a defense, and there should perhaps be discretion for prosecutors to press charges.
The room itself here does hold a couple hundred people. We're 15 minutes away from the start of
pressing charges. That is utterly wild. I'm not even religious, and just hearing that is one of the slipperiest slopes in the world. It's only with Christianity and Catholics, right? That's the only time they deem things hateful. Never with anything else. I just find that very interesting. It's always those two specific religions, those two groups right there. It's never anything to do with any other religious group. Isn't that interesting?
Of the town hall. The room is already full. They're out of chairs. They're bringing in more chairs, and people are starting to stand against the wall. So we're going to hear some speeches from the MPs. Then there will be a Q&A, and then I and my colleague Lise Merle, who's based in Regina, are going to ask the people what they think about the Liberals' latest attacks on religious freedom.
Join me in welcoming my colleague and friend, Andrew Lawton.
Thank you. Give it up for Kelly Block. Bill C-9 is a crucial bill. It is an important bill, and it is one that we have a very limited amount of time to make a difference on. This is a bill that is right now before the Justice Committee. The Liberals wanted to ram this through before the winter break. And it was the Conservative Justice team, and actually the entire Conservative team, that banded together to stop that from happening. Kelly Block was a tremendous part of that effort. All of our Conservative colleagues here, Corey Tucker, Kevin Waugh, everyone in Ottawa in their own ridings, we are all 100% united behind freedom of expression, behind religious freedom, and behind the fundamental freedoms of Canadians that if we do not defend, no one else will. Bill C-9 came about because of something really important. There's been a wave of anti-Semitism in the last 2.5 years. We've seen our Jewish friends and neighbors have their synagogues firebombed, their neighborhoods terrorized. We have seen in city streets across Canada open, brazen calls for genocide, going far beyond what is protected as freedom of expression. We have seen a lack of enforcement of laws that we have in Canada, which is why we have been asking for 2.5 years for political leadership. We've been asking for the government to do the right thing and stand up against this. And instead, the government did what it did best. Created a law that takes away the freedoms of Canadians. A law that the Liberals are saying allows them to be the solvers of the problem they created.
The Liberals claim that Bill C-9 will protect communities from hate, but you can't protect communities when you're risking prosecution on those very groups expressing their religious beliefs. So now that the Liberals and the Bloc Québécois have amended Bill C-9, we are looking at a bill that will vastly expand the authority the state has to police not just religious speech, but all speech that the government finds offensive. This is now a bridge too far for anyone of faith in this country, regardless of religion, that you can go to jail for up to 2 years for expressing a good faith religious belief that someone argues fits this new, murkier definition of hate. And they're just putting so much ambiguity that will have a chilling effect on freedom of expression and specifically religious expression.
This is a Liberal Party that has signaled the regard it has for people of faith and for the fundamental freedom to express your faith. People will often talk about this idea of separating church from state. We are actually trying to do that. We are trying to separate the state from the church to ensure that politicians are not determining what ministers, imams, rabbis, and other faith leaders are allowed to preach, what scriptures you're allowed to cite. The only way we can stop this is by banding together, raising the stakes, making sure the Liberal government knows that people of faith and people who value freedom of expression will not accept this.
I'm going across the country. I'm holding roundtable discussions with faith leaders themselves, explaining to them what this will mean practically, because they have a lot of concerns about this, and also speaking to Canadians who are concerned about this and helping contextualize it with other regulations and laws the Liberals have passed or talked about to deal with internet speech, for example. Like, all of this is part of a suite of legislation that is fundamentally eroding freedom of expression, and that was something that I was elected to protect and stand up for, and that's what I'm going to keep doing, as well as my Conservative colleagues.
We need everyone in this room, everyone in this province, everyone in this country who does not support C9 to tell the Liberals this and to do it in the next 12 days. So I want to...
That's fantastic. You can shout to the rooftops all you want. And I really hope this bill doesn't pass ever. The fact that we're heading down this path is insane. And Canada doesn't have freedom of speech like the US does. We've already begun the slippery slope of silencing people and deeming what can and cannot be said, and now it's being taken another step further. Christ, as a Canadian, you can't even view certain news articles on Facebook because they have banned it. They have literally banned news articles on Facebook. You want to talk about propaganda and garbage? It's this right here. Not what Andrew Lawton is spewing, but these laws, right? These bills that they're implementing. The Liberals don't care, though. I say this time and time again. I'm going to continue to say it. You can email them every single day for the next 12 days. You can email them every single day for the rest of your life. They They don't give a shit about what you have to say. And people like Michael Ma and Chris D'Entremont proved that. Right? They were voted in by conservative people, and just like that, they switched to liberal. They don't care what their riding has to say. They don't care about what their constituents have to say. They flipped. And that same ideologue, that same mindset, that same whatever you want to call it, continues onward. These liberals don't care. They don't care. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. They don't give a shit about you emailing them every single day about trying to shut down Bill C-9. They're going to try and push Bill C-9 regardless of if half the country does or doesn't want it.
I want to take your questions. I want to hear what you're thinking about this. I want to hear how we can work together and stop this and protect religious freedom. Thank you so much, everyone.
When Trudeau was Prime Minister, they were always attacking faith-based organizations, and now, as we've seen, C9 is a deliberate attack on faith-based organizations. And I think what you heard here tonight in Saskatoon, the worry is a number of pastors are worried what I said 4 or 5 years ago now can be used against me. Well, that is a real slippery slope. We've all said things in the past that, are on tape.
Over the past number of years, we've seen legislation introduced. We've seen initiatives by the current government that, whether intentionally or not, has sought or has had the impact of undermining our freedoms, certainly freedom of religion or belief. We saw that with the attestation that came out back in 2017, and we saw what happened when Canadians pushed back and said, no, this can't happen. And so while I cannot know what's in the mind of our Liberal politicians, I certainly have seen a slow but steady erosion of our freedoms as Canadians under this current government.
Liberals have always played in the divisive politics realm, that if you can divide it, you can control it, and that is why the Liberals have divided Canadians once again on the lines and the disguise of hate speech. And really what C9 does, it divides Canadians, and it makes it their job or their likelihood of continuing to have control over Canadians that much easier. Canadians have to get active. They have to activate your networks. We're out in Saskatoon. We're very, very grateful for the support the Conservatives have been able to obtain in elections. It is the areas that are not held by Conservatives that we've got to reach out to. And if people have networks that of friends or business associates, make sure that those people that are living in other parts of Canada know that this is important and that they need to reach out to their member of parliament and explain to them why this is wrong in a most professional and nice way, not to be too aggressive.
I think this is what needs to happen here now. Householders take a long time to produce and send out, so let's do it on email. Email everybody in the House of Commons, all 342, and I think in particular, which wasn't mentioned, start now with the senators, because if this bill does pass committee and the House of Commons, because of the Bloc and the Liberals, we have to attack the Senate and make amendments there.
I feel bad sometimes.
Oh, acting like the Senate is gonna do something? The Trudeau Liberal appointed Senate? Yeah, that's a good one. Let's just hope it never reaches that point, because if it does, then it's literally game over. There's nothing the Senate is going to do to shut this down. Like, there's not a single thing they'll do. And if the Senate eventually is to be reworked, Carney will just appoint a bunch of his own buddies or people that think the same way. It's a joke. The Senate is a joke. All we can hope is that C9 doesn't pass, but if the Liberals and Bloc band together on this, it's game over. There's nothing we could do about it. Man, what an interesting time we live in. This year is going to be a crazy one. If we thought last year was crazy, it's most likely going to kick off, and we're only 20 days in.
I think in many ways our generation has dropped the ball. I think a lot has happened when we should have been more aware through the years. And this is another example of things that are happening, and we are being called to action. For us, we're seniors. We did our first protest a couple years ago, and it was all about the children. We have a heart for what's happening to children. And so I guess I feel that this is a call to action.
I have a 2-month-old son, and I want him to grow up in a free country. And I'm afraid that some of the views that I might hold would all of a sudden become illegal if this bill were to pass.
I believe that religion is the foundation of our democracy and Western civilization. The Judeo-Christian heritage was important. And one of the big things is I don't believe in speech legislation at all. There should be free speech at all. And to just double down on it by, saying that quoting certain scriptures is hateful is ridiculous. Like if you look at a restaurant reviews, people go into different restaurants, they'll all have different opinions on the same food and things. So to think that you can come up with a law that's going to, be not subjective as restaurant reviews are, I think is a crazy thing to try and achieve.
That is an incredible point. Like, look at Google restaurant reviews. Nobody has the same opinion, and they think that they're gonna legislate this.
I am as a member of director of Multicultural Learning and Teaching Union in Saskatoon, and it's very important for me. I talk with MP because in Iran now has a lot of problem for people because government now against two people and internet, no connection with our family. And all of young people killed by government because all of them say by economic is not good. Because many young people go to the job, for example, 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. and just for pay $10. And now I need Canada help to our people, not government. Now I need Canada and another country help to Iranian people because all of all of them are educational people. All of them, if Canada help to all of them, I would appreciate. And if you want, I can, because English my second language. Again, I read my...
Yeah, please feel free.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am an Iranian. And at the moment of one truly understand the pain our people are going through. For 45 years, people have been suffering from economic hardship. And whenever they protested, they were met with violence by the government. We are the voice of the people inside Iran. We ask the son of the former king return to country. And we hope that government of Canada will support Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi as a leader to return. We also hope that Iran, with its more than 3,000 years of civilization, can build a strong business relation with Canada. The people of Iran are not terrorists. Our government has been treating the people with oppression and violence, especially the youth who cannot defend themselves. People work from morning until night, and the wage for full day's work is only $10. We kindly request more engagement and attention from Canada regarding Iran.
Well, that's a wrap from here in Saskatoon.
And there you have it. That was a lot, but I guess you get the idea here. The people that come to Canada from countries that have actual regimes in charge that are silencing the people, and in some cases taking them out, they're not going to put up with this. Just saying. Like, the Liberals like to bring in a ton of immigrants from those countries, right? And that's fine. If you want to come here legally, that's absolutely fine. But they're coming from places that have actual regimes and dictators, and like I said, take out their own people. They're not going to put up with censorship bills, and it's going to backfire on them. It's eventually going to backfire on them. Okay, very, very briefly, we're going to I'm gonna look at this Twitter post here. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking red alarm news. The Canadian Armed Forces are modeling a hypothetical U.S. military invasion of Canada, including modeling tactics similar to those employed by the Taliban against the U.S. in Afghanistan, 2 senior government officials told the Globe and Mail. Why in... Jesus Christ, I'm gonna go insane on this one. Why the fuck would the government come out and actively say, hey, US, you planning on invading us? These are the very tactics we're gonna use. Oh, remember the very tactics the Taliban used against you in Afghanistan? Well, you can just go back to your old playbook and use it again here. It literally makes no sense at all, right? Why would a government come out and just say, hey guys, this is what we're doing? It's literally propaganda garbage, and this fucking comment right here is perfect. First rule in Canadian military planning: get the plans published in the Globe and Mail. Like, it's posts like this that are just trying to rile people up. They're trying to divide people even further. Literally think of it for more than a second. Why would military strategists just openly say everything they're going to do? That makes no sense at all. Literally zero. Literally zero. That would be like if the United States said, we're going to go capture Maduro, and then 10 hours later, they go and capture Maduro. You know what would have happened? Probably not a successful mission like what did happen, right? They don't announce these things to the people that they are going to eventually, I don't know, invade or whatever the fuck you want to claim at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, I don't think the US is going to invade Canada. Come on, people. Come on. And to everybody claiming that the US invaded Venezuela, the military isn't occupying anything. They went in, grabbed Maduro, and left. There was no invasion. There's no checkpoint. Military checkpoints dropped throughout the city. Boats and tanks aren't rolling up onto the Venezuelan shores. People need to really take a step back from the mainstream media here. Or these fucking Twitter accounts. I swear to God. Half of them, all they do is just rile people up and drive division even further. Like, it's just absolutely retarded. Why the fuck would a military strategist and government officials come out and claim that? Like, use your brains, people, please. Please think. Please critically think. Absolutely insane. People take this shit to heart and then run with it. Just, it's brain dead behavior. It really is. And I'm not gonna, like, be nice and sugarcoat things anymore. If you're gonna act like a retard, I'm just gonna call you a retard. Like, flat and dry. Alright. Tyler Oliveira. I don't know what's going on here. Apparently some crazy stuff is going on in New York. We're gonna watch a bit of this video. We're gonna get into a Moose on the Loose video, and then I'm gonna call it a day.
You work for Hamas?
I don't want my kids should play in the house of a secular guy.
This is Curious Joel.
You're a
A village of 44,000 Hasidic Jews in upstate New York that primarily speak Yiddish have an average of 7 kids per family.
How many kids do most people have out here?
17, 18.
How do they afford 17, 18 kids? It's one of the poorest towns in America, with 40% living beneath the federal poverty line. Many men here are religiously studying the Torah full-time and heavily rely on public assistance and welfare in the form of Medicaid, housing vouchers, food stamps, and cash aid to support their giant families that God commanded them to have. And the village enforces strict gender roles, modest dress codes, and sends their kids to private religious schools. And why is it okay for Jewish people to live together in a homogenous Jew-only community, but it's illegal when white people try to build their own? I pulled up to Curious Joel myself to see what's going on.
Welcome to Curious Joel, a traditional community of modesty and values. In keeping with our traditions and religious customs, we kindly ask that you dress and behave in a modest way while visiting our community. This includes wearing long skirts or pants, covered necklines, sleeves past the elbow, use appropriate language, maintain gender separation in all public areas. Thank you for respecting our values. Let's pop in here and say shalom. Lots of people praying. Hi. Shalom. Okay, so it says entrance for members only. Not sure what it takes to be a member. What does it take to be a member? Do I have to be Jewish to enter? Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not sure the schedule exactly, but 9 o'clock sharp, they're not at work. What is this? Okay, so I guess everyone's praying right now. So you gotta wonder what these people do.
This is wild. He just walked right in with the cameras and everything. Holy shit.
For employment. You'll notice the Mexicans out here are doing the hard labor, and the Jewish people, I'm not sure what they do. Maybe we can ask this guy. Excuse me. What do most people do for work out here? You don't know? All right, cold shoulder. Question for you, sir. How long do people pray per day?
Maybe 6 hours.
Okay, what do people do for work?
I'm not an news reporter. We have to...
Okay, what do you do for work? Okay, you don't want to talk? How many hours a day do they pray?
3 hours a day.
Do people have 9 to 5s?
Yes.
Like what industries are they involved in here?
Construction or other type of industries.
And what do you do?
I'm a student and also I'm doing home care.
What are you studying?
I'm studying Torah.
Torah?
Yes.
How old are you?
Our holy Torah.
And who pays for education?
I try to work on overtime.
Overtime?
Yes.
Where do you work overtime?
I work home care.
Home care?
Night, yes.
Is it like, do you have kids?
I have kids, yes.
How many kids?
3.
How do you afford to raise 3 kids while being a student?
Because I work very hard. I want to study the Torah. I'm very proud.
How do you afford to study the Torah, though?
God help me.
Does the American taxpayer help you, too?
Also, yes.
Yep. How many people out here are on like welfare in the form of like housing assistance or Section 8 or EBT, SNAP, Medicare?
Yes.
And that allows you to study the Torah?
Yes.
And raise your kids?
Yes, thank you.
And how many kids do most people have out here?
17, 18.
How do they afford 17, 18 kids?
They are proud to do what the Torah says, that you need to...
Well, if they're on SNAP and welfare, that's your answer right there. You get more money depending on how many kids you probably have, right? 17, 18. That's a football team. That's an offensive line right there. Holy Christ.
To be multiple and fruitful.
Wow. And do you think there's welfare abuse in the community out here?
No.
No? Because they actually have the kids?
Yes.
They have the kids. Do they get tax credits for the kids?
What they get, but they are all doing to keep our Torah, yes.
Keep the Torah?
Yes.
And what are your thoughts on people out there who can barely afford to have one kid?
If they want, they can have one. But if God's given them more, it's very proud.
Okay, shout out God.
Yes.
Okay.
We are very against the state of Israel. It's a very big problem for us.
Yeah, so you guys don't approve of a state of Israel before the Messiah comes, right?
Yes. Zionism is not Judaism. It's a very other thing.
Question for you, sir. What do you do for work out here? Are you on the phone? Or are you listening to the radio? Okay. Damn, it's tough to get some answers out of folks. What do you do for work?
Nothing.
How do you make money?
My wife.
Your wife? What does she do for work?
What is this?
Interview. Good to meet you. For YouTube. So your wife works and do you study the Torah?
Have a good day.
How many kids do you have?
Have a good day.
How many children do you have? Okay, thank you. Well, that was fascinating. Excuse me, do you study Torah?
Study that?
Torah?
No.
What do you do for work? Do you have a job? Does your wife work? Are you a student of the Torah?
Yes.
Do you work a job for money?
I?
Yeah.
No.
Does your wife?
Yes.
She does. Does your wife go to work to make money and you study Torah?
Where are you?
Tyler, good to meet you. I'm just doing a YouTube video about this place. I find it fascinating.
I don't have time. I have to...
But where are you going if you don't work?
I study.
So you study. And does your wife work? What industry does she work in? Teaching, education, children? And how do you afford the kids if you don't work?
My wife.
Your wife? Okay, thank you. Sounds like a great setup.
My wife.
Damn, I might have to get in on that. Excuse me, what do women work at here? What jobs do women work in here? Is it mostly childcare? Okay, cold shoulder. Do you work a job as well as raise the kids? Do the women raise the kids in?
This is wild. Just walking up to random people. Yo, do you work?
Okay, tough to talk to the women out here. How do people afford to have families? So like as you raise baby, do you also go to work at some point? What do you do for work? Do you study the Torah for a living? Do you study the Torah? Do you work a job? No? Does your wife work a job? Are you a student? Do you work? Are you a student? Man, I can't do this anymore. Question for you. Do you study Torah? Do you study the Torah? Excuse me, sir. Do you study the Torah? Hey. Oh, you speak on his behalf? How do you know that? Get on out of here. He said he doesn't want to give an interview. How would he know? Do they communicate telepathically via hive mind? Hi. Tyler, yes. How are you, my friend? How are you doing? Yes.
Wow.
How are you? You want to say hi?
Independent journalist.
Yes.
Lucy, you want to say hi? No.
Okay, how are you doing?
Hey, shit, this office.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about this place?
Sure, we go up here.
Okay.
It's a very nice place.
Yeah, and it's mostly Hasidic Jews?
Yes,
Okay.
it's only Hasidic Jews.
And it's one of the most biggest growing towns,
Big
right?
growing
By
town.
percentage?
It's the biggest in the
Big
United-
families, too.
Big families, right?
How do people afford to have such big families out here?
It's... I'm not gonna say anything.
What do you mean? How do they have such big families?
We believe in God, that
Believe in
God
God?
created that.
Okay. Hey, thanks for saying hi, my friend.
I don't know who you are.
My name's Tyler Oliveira.
I don't talk to the suspicious person.
How am I suspicious?
I don't know who you are.
Damn, ouch, that hurt my feelings. Do you study Torah? Or do you work a job or own business?
Everybody here works a job.
Well, that's not true. That's what's up?
They have Torah and they work.
That's not true. That's a lie. That's not true.
Suspicious person.
That's not true. I've talked to people, they said some of them just study the Torah. They told me themselves.
Well, some.
So who's the liar? I understand that. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know who you are.
I'm just asking questions. How many children do you have?
You work for Hamas?
What? I'm a journalist. I'm just exploring. YouTube vlogger. I don't work for Hamas.
Bro, that's wild. Holy shit. Do you work for Hamas?
I said, do you work for Hamas? What? Okay, so this is the most beautiful $10 million synagogue right here. It is quite nice. Let's see if anyone wants to talk. Hello.
That was awesome.
Rabbis? 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 Are you guys rabbis?
No.
Okay. Do most of them work as... Yes, hello. I'm asking men what they do for a living out here. Are most people here...
What number?
Oh, just my name, Tyler. I'm just asking Hasidic Jews out here because I know it's...
Not for
What do you mean?
People are not gonna answer you because...
What do most men do here for work? Is it they study the Torah?
No, most people are working in Amazon like this.
CNN? No, I just have a YouTube channel.
The mere presence of a goyim was sufficient to raise suspicion.
Question for you. What do most men do for work here? Are they rabbis?
No,
This is working?
No.
What do they do? Because I'm trying to talk to people, just figure out what the main industry is.
A lot of things.
Can you give me some ideas?
Oh, go outside.
Okay, thank you. I'm trying to talk to folks like you. How you make your money and afford to raise your families.
Ross.
What?
54 Ross.
But then I finally met this guy who gave me some wisdom.
Help me out.
Everything people do.
What do you do for a living?
Billboards.
How long does the prayer last? And when do people go to work?
People go from 9 o'clock in the morning, from 6 o'clock in the morning until the night.
So how do they pay their bills?
How they pay the bills? By working.
You know, it's almost like if they just answered the questions like this guy here, he would eventually just go away, right? Like, it makes it even weirder that they just are not willing to answer anything. Like, obviously they don't have to, right? They're free to do whatever they please, but at the same time, it's like, just answered a few questions, he would probably leave you alone.
Do they work if they're praying all day?
They're not praying all day. So you have a lot of people coming in the morning and going into work, then coming back to pray. You have a lot of people coming in the morning to pray. They have people just waking up late.
I see.
From
Okay.
having a big
Different
community.
schedules. So you own a billboard company?
Yes.
How do people afford to have like 10 kids out here?
The community is based on this. So
Okay, so is it wealthy members of the community give charity?
Yes, mostly. That's the way.
Are most people on Medicaid, SNAP, EBT? Let's be honest.
I don't know. I can't speak for other people.
What about you?
I'm not going to tell about myself.
Okay.
A lot of these folks have business there. Not all of them. Okay. Some of them.
But there's a lot of you guys, right?
Some of them are being supported by community members.
Okay. What's the big industry for women out here? Is it childcare? Because I notice Mexicans seem to work like retail, construction. Many men will tell me my wife works, but I do not.
That's not true.
That's what they told me though. They themselves.
The first 2 years after they get married.
Okay.
Only the first 2 years.
Okay.
And then they go work. Most men.
Okay. All right. How many kids do you have? I'm gonna guess you have 13. They all vote unanimously in favor for it. Look at this. There's a car accident every 5 seconds. Some of the driving out here is horrendous. It's truly terrible. What did the Jewish people here do for work, from what you've seen? Do they just pray, or?
No. So yes, they pray every single day, and then they work every single day after this happen.
After they pray, they go to work?
Yeah. They drive in a school bus and a transit bus.
Excuse me, gentlemen. What do you guys do for work here? Do you guys have like businesses, like work a job? Do you guys study Torah?
I have a job.
What do you do?
I'm in sales.
Are you lying to me? Just the way you looked at him, I'm just like, what? Is it just ink? What do you do?
I'm doing sales.
What do you sell?
Food.
Why do you keep looking at him? Okay. What food do you sell?
Chocolates.
What? I feel like I'm getting bamboozled right here. I don't understand the look back there. Do most women raise their households and then they work afterwards?
Some, not most.
Some. Okay. Like what percentage? Half?
Maybe half.
Maybe half?
Usually when they study, they do just that.
Okay.
The ones who work study in the morning and late afternoon and in the evening.
To be fair, I have seen people who work bus driver jobs, some people doing something in the shop, sort of managing the shop. The construction and hard labor seems to be exclusively executed by the Mexicans. Excuse me, miss. Do women work and raise the kids out here?
Sometimes.
Do the men work or do they study the Torah? The sheer density of minivans out here is a phenomenon in and of itself. Excuse me. What do you do for a living? Okay. What do you do for work? What do you do for a living, sir? Tough scene. Excuse me. What do you do for a living? Excuse me, what do you do for work?
A student.
You're a student. You're old, though.
I follow you on YouTube.
There we go. So you gotta answer this puzzle for me then. What do people do for work out here?
We do construction, we do everything.
Do people spend hours praying in the synagogue and then they work afterwards?
Yeah.
Do the women raise the kids and that's all they do, or do they work as well?
They work as well. The men also raise their kids.
Wow.
We just don't bother nobody. Whatever a normal people is doing,
Yeah.
we're doing.
Okay.
But we're doing it mostly in the kosher way. Instead of selling to general supermarkets.
I see.
For example, I'm in the kosher food. I sell for kosher supermarkets.
What I'm hearing is they'll gladly take money out of the American tax base to support their lifestyle, and if they do start a business, it'll most likely accommodate and service Jews.
We don't bother nobody. We don't kill.
This is true. No violence out here.
No violence.
No drugs.
No drugs. No stealing. No raping. No nothing.
I've only seen bad drivers though.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because we have so much. We have like 10 children. We're all too busy. That's why we were upset by driving. We're getting nervous. That's the biggest violence you'll find by us. One day a year, it's called Purim. That
party.
We dance. People getting drunk. And the biggest good thing about that we're giving donations for other people.
Oh, that's right.
Do you know how much money goes out in this village?
I'm gonna guess millions.
Millions? Yeah. And that's without being so polite, keeping open the doors. That's a thing on
Gentile behavior.
yeah, right. No, not Gentile. It's a,
Some goy
but
behavior.
you're not going, I can see it.
I'm goyim.
No, you're not going. You're a Yid. Going back, you're a Yiddish.
Okay.
Are you a Yid?
I'm goyim.
Can you show me your license?
I know that you guys don't support Zionism, or you guys don't support the Jewish state until the Messiah is here, right?
Exactly. They are not the Jewish people. They are not us, and we are not them. They are not Jewish at all. The state of Israel is a secular state, same as Japanese, but they call themselves Jewish people. They don't obey no laws. They're taking out kids from the yeshiva, sending them to draft to army to fight Hamas, which they create the problem. If they would listen to the Torah, the whole war wouldn't be.
How do people afford to have so many kids here?
They don't afford, we help each other. We opened 2 groceries called Maitiv. We're giving them 50% discount. Just giving you one example.
Yeah, I could get a discount too?
Yes, because the store is officially made for everybody.
The one thing I am curious about though is the welfare use.
Both the federal or whatever the state, they're both spending equals money for other people. The only difference is over here, the money is being spent for us in our mouth to eat, and in Bronx it's being spent for the NYPD to fight.
Are you on welfare?
No.
Do you know anyone on welfare here?
I won't comment on that question.
Come on.
How should I answer the
You own a shop. You own a supermarket basically. So you would know. Give me a rough estimate if you can.
No.
Why not?
I'm not.
But why?
I'm not gonna comment.
Why? Why is that the stickler?
Because I can't answer you a simple.
You can give me a rough estimate though, just ballpark.
What do you think? And
I'm gonna guess 33%.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's probably about on average throughout the U.S. That's not terrible.
Exactly.
I'm just trying to figure out how people afford to raise 10 plus kids on sometimes single income households.
We don't spend so much money for each kid.
Humble living. Okay? Like how many kids per family?
10, 12, 14, 15.
Oof, that's huge. And how do people afford to have such big families out here?
Working. I don't
Working?
know.
Like what do people do for work out here?
What to do? Brokerage.
Brokerage?
Construction.
Okay.
Teaching in school.
Okay, teaching, school, construction. What percentage of people do you think are on like welfare, Medicaid? A lot?
Latvia. Big people.
Okay. Okay. What do they do?
What I do?
Yeah. What do you do for work?
I'm a student.
Student? Okay. How old are you?
Okay, it's very late to me.
I see. Thank you. Would you like to be interviewed?
I know can professional English, so.
You speak English? Any English? No? Okay. Tough to find someone that speaks English out here.
Well, he clearly spoke some English because he understood what you said. Holy shit.
It's tough to find anyone besides the Mexicans out here at work. These guys are looking at their phones half the time too. I'm a little bit confused. And why is everyone on the flip phone? Are they actually speaking to someone? Like, are you actually on the phone with someone?
Yes.
Oh, you are? Okay. Some people I hear are on the radios.
Could be.
Okay. Pregunta. Este ciudad, Jews?
Yes.
Solo?
Yeah, it's only the Jews.
And las personas hispanic trabaja por construcción?
Yes.
Jews trabaja en construcción aquí o no?
Only the Hispanics.
Hispanics? Okay. Thank you, my friend. Okay, so this is sort of a well-known fact, but it's good to hear from him that the Hispanics are working the construction out here and the Jews are living here. You work in the medical industry.
Yes.
And you help someone who's elderly or?
Well, it's for pediatrics.
Pediatrics.
It's a private office for Dr. Wurzberger.
Okay, I've noticed that seemingly only Hispanics are out here working.
Yes.
And I have not seen many of the Jewish people here working.
Yeah.
Do you know what's going on there?
That I don't know, but we do have a few coworkers also that are
Okay.
Jewish. But I have noticed that also.
I'm trying to figure out how you guys afford to have so many kids, though.
I mean,
I see all these Mexican workers, too.
personally,
Yeah.
I'm struggling.
You're struggling? Yeah.
It's not easy. Most
Okay.
of the people I know are.
Are most people who have this amount of kids on forms of welfare, like SNAP, Medicaid, housing assistance, that sort of thing?
A lot of people. I'm not.
Yeah.
I can't talk for others, and I don't know.
Do you
A lot of
think?
people have because I mean,
Yeah.
for sure they are eligible for.
Like tax credits for the kids, right?
Yeah, and they're eligible more for whatever, for low income, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because you have that many kids.
Like Section 8 waivers for stuff like this?
Something like.
Yeah. So, do most people work jobs out here? Or is it kind of just raising their kids?
As far as I know, yes. I mean, the woman will raise her kids, and most of the men will work.
And the women raise the kids full time?
Most of them. There are some women who will work part-time, and less women
Yeah.
work full-time. But it's very hard to work when you have kids.
Right. Could I move here as a non-Hasidic Jew? Would I be able to, though? That's my real question, because I've heard it's practically impossible.
It's not true.
It's not true?
No, nobody can stop you. You're not going to be comfortable.
I get that, but would someone actually rent or sell me a house out here as a non-Hasidic Jew? Unlikely, right?
It's not unlike.
I mean, unlikely maybe. I can't.
Okay.
I don't own a house.
Sure.
To rent you to ask you this question.
Yeah.
But the point is that everybody lives wherever they want to.
Sure.
Like the same as I live here. Nobody told me, hey, you have to live here. I live here because I want to live here. Correct?
Yeah, that makes sense.
If a secular guy is going to move in, he's gonna be uncomfortable. I don't want my kids should play in the house of a secular guy, because the reason why I want to live here because I want to be religious.
I see.
I want my kids should be religious.
Sure. That makes sense.
I don't hate them. I love
Yeah.
them.
No, that's reasonable.
I will have
Yeah. Have you heard of the all-white community in the Ozarks?
I know, yeah.
Would you agree with them doing that?
I don't know. I don't want to live there. The point is not this.
But you think they should be allowed to do so, though, right?
I have a lot of opinions.
Do you think they should?
As I told you, you have to sit down.
Oh man, all right, you're a complicated guy. Could I buy a house there? Would they let me?
Legally, I think you.
Legally, I could, but they wouldn't, right?
It's a good question. How they will deal with that?
Why is everyone so busy? Back to the video.
No, speak English.
None?
No.
As I was going around, my drone captured the most dangerous people in the city. Bad drivers. But real quick, the sponsor of this video pulled out once they learned what the topic was. So if you want to support the channel, get access to these videos early, and watch never before seen content I can't upload on YouTube, go subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/Tyler Oliveira for
Oh, if it were me, I would just call the police, get the police report, and handle it through his insurance.
Okay, so
That's some damage right there. $2,000-$3,000 worth is my guess. And just for context, do you live here? You work here? Okay. Wow, look at this, another accident! Oh my God! It just hit. They cannot fucking drive out here. There's a car accident here. They're trying to go outside of insurance. It's a phenomenal style of driving out here that leads to quite a few car accidents, it seems like.
She's concerned that the police might have a really good relationship with the people here.
Oh, valid. They probably do. That's why we're gonna hold them accountable with the camera. What happened?
I came down over here and she was over here and I was waiting and she started to backing up. I was turning and that's it.
I see, the rest is history.
I need license and registration.
oh yeah. He said he's going to give me $2,000 to send me quick pay.
He said he's gonna give her $2,000 now, what she was originally asking, so we don't, use the resources and all that.
Okay, I gotta ask you a question. How many kids do you have?
7.
7? How do you afford to feed 7 kids out here?
I work 24 hours.
24 hours on the bus. Wow, okay. Big families, hard workers.
God bless your trip.
Thank you.
23 degrees, frozen streets. School bus doesn't give up. No one can f***ing drive out here. We got the buses on our ass right now. What is this? What is this? What?
Holy crap, it's like a third world country there.
Driving is insane. Bro, what is this fucking idiot in the school bus? Bro, what the fuck? What is this driving? What is this driving?
The way you're driving.
You're trying to kill us out here.
You were driving below the speed limit.
No, we weren't.
25.
You need to learn how to drive.
Driving below the speed limit, he's trying to overtake him in a bus. Holy shit, dude. What is with these people?
You're gonna get your kids killed in here. You're gonna get these kids killed. An irresponsible school bus driver. And if you walk through the neighborhood, you'll begin to see the presence of kids everywhere as women give birth to about 7 children on average. Massive families, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus kids per family out here. All of these strollers and little kid bikes. Another one. Tons of kids. And then a school bus for those kids. New construction over there, more houses being built, foundation being laid. Some of these houses are quite nice. I imagine there are massive families inside them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 wheeled toys for the kids. Can I ask you, how large is your family?
1.
And do most families have, how many kids do they have? Most families?
5, 10.
5, 10? How do they pay for that many kids? You don't know? What is your job?
The Bible.
You read the Bible?
It's very late for me.
For the kids? What is your job? Like, what do you do to make money?
My wife is working.
Okay, your wife works?
Yeah, I have a lot of time.
What do you do for work? Okay, all right, busy man. Thank you.
I'm a family of 6.
Okay, nice.
And I do handiwork.
Okay. Do most people out here work?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay. What percentage of this whole town is children? Maybe like half?
No, more than half.
More than half?
Yeah, because if you can have like 15 children in a family, automatically it's much more than half.
And last question for you. Are most families out here on any form of welfare, like Section 8, SNAP, Medicaid, housing assistance?
Most families?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say so, not as far as I know.
Are you?
I have Medicaid, but
Okay.
I have my own business and I make my money fair and square.
Respect. Okay, we got the Crown Sterling right here.
All right, that's going to do it for Tyler Oliveira. We're going to switch gears here to some Canadian politics.
We need to have a predictable system. This is what investors want. This is what businesses want. This is what individuals need.
Can't say we're surprised here. Welcome back to Moose on Loose. My name's David. Today we've got Canada hitting 1 million people. That's right, 1 million people in the backlog for immigration. Thanks, Carney. Thanks, Justin Trudeau. The backlog is so big, they don't even know how to handle this. We got some updates on the whole Chinese EV situation, Donald Trump, Greenland, WF, some polling data. Let's jump into this. As per usual, we'll start off with the polling data. We've got new one from Liaison Strategies. The Liberals at 40%, Conservatives at 35%, NDP and Bloc at 8%. So you notice Carney's a bit of a lead here, and this poll is from January 5th to the 17th, so there's a lot of time there. Most of that doesn't have to do with the Chinese deal, maybe the last day or so. I think what we're seeing here is a little bit of a bump because of Carney announcing that he was going to China, to Qatar, to Davos, Switzerland, but not the outcome. We'll have to see with the next couple polls that come out, but I can't believe people who still support the Liberals. Like, it's time for us to wake up. And we got a correction, Shreya T saying it's 11%, not 8% for the NDP, as stated here. We do have it right here. So the NDP is getting some of their support back. And we got this one from Melissa. Auto parts supplier to close London plant, causing uncertainty among 136 workers. Autoneum and Unifor exploring transfer opportunities to its Hilsenberg plant. So right, more Canadians out of work. This is the Liberals' record here. Just things are shutting down all over the place. And when you're seeing stuff like this, Quebec has 22 trillion cubic feet of natural gas and 200 billion in crude oil reserves. What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? It's time to actually make our country rich and stop having a moral superiority complex. Quebec needs to stick shovels in the ground, or they should be cut off from all transfer payments, period. There's no excuse whatsoever. Moving ahead, we got the CBC trying to diffuse the situation of Mark Carney making a deal with not one, but two countries that are in violation of human rights abuses, including slave labor. Mark Carney likes to keep good company.
That is Prime Minister Carney leaving Doha this morning to fly to Switzerland, taking part this week in the World Economic Forum in Davos. He is expected to continue drumming up business for Canada amid U.S. President Donald Trump's trade war. Trump's latest tariff threats are targeting European NATO allies who oppose his plans to take over Greenland. CBC News has confirmed that Prime Minister Carney is considering whether to send Canadian soldiers to Greenland to join NATO military exercises.
That's about the dumbest thing we can do right now. We're going to send, 20 troops over to Greenland and then put our entire trade talks in jeopardy? Like, we'd have to be completely idiotic to do that. And that's maybe Carney will do it. He doesn't want to deal with Donald Trump. It's very clear. He's got another agenda he's rolling out here.
Prime Minister Carney wrapped up his previous stop in Doha earlier this morning and announced there yesterday that Qatar has committed to invest in major building projects in Canada. Carney's next talks will be in Davos with the heads of some of the world's biggest economies, and that will likely include European NATO allies. They'll be meeting amid rising threats over Greenland from U.S. President Donald Trump. CBC News has confirmed that the Prime Minister is thinking about sending soldiers to Greenland for NATO military exercises.
He's not going to salute the soldiers standing there? This guy is such a buffoon. Lying by omission is still lying. CBC always sheltered dear leader from criticism. Carney has no good side. CBC has become truly repugnant. Moving ahead, we've got the provincial separatist group out of Quebec. Not too happy with what Mark Carney's doing over in China and Qatar.
In which case, going to a totalitarian communist regime that the U.S. has identified as a threat to security and to the national American economy. I just don't get it. I don't understand what we're doing right now, and we would have not done that. We have historical allies, and there has been period where we don't agree on certain things, But we need to take a step back and think, what is our common interest and our regional interest in the current context?
I mean, Mark Carney himself said China is the biggest threat to security, and yet there he is doing a deal. And regarding what's going on here, all he has to do is check out www.moosechart.com, which I have just updated. I now have the data, the tops, you know, when it was last updated, because the last one was from a couple months ago. So you'll notice, if you go to the chart, this is actually my private one, but it's pretty similar to the one that's online, available for everyone. It's about 40% bigger now. It's absolutely ginormous, as you can see. So all the stuff from China is there. I have a bunch of loose pieces. It's a little bit messy, but that's what we're going to roll with here. And then everything.
Oh, what's up? What's up, Spider-Man? How's it going? Popping in at the tail end of the stream here. Just briefly left to grab some water.
Off the top side here has all these other companies like Brookfield Infrastructure Partners, Isle of Man, Wealth Solutions, Oaktree Capital, Brookfield Asset Management, ULC, which is different than normal Brookfield Asset Management. And then you also notice all the stuff in red. This is anything that directly has to do with the liberals. He gets asked about Chinese EVs.
On electric vehicles to Quebec's economy, which has been geared toward this kind of industry. Whatever China has to offer is of no interest for a PQ government eventually.
I think it would be a mistake to continue in a relationship where the commercial balance between Quebec and China, or between Canada and China, is totally unbalanced, totally in favor of China already. And we need to understand that if you're dealing with a totalitarian and anti-democratic regime, they will ask many conditions for access to certain parts of their markets and the rules of international law, because everybody's talking about international law and the importance of rules with regards to Venezuela. Let's remind ourselves that certain players that are not democracies do not follow any of those rules for the past decades.
Such as China and Qatar. They have slave labor. There's Uyghurs in concentration camps in China, over 1 million people. They keep building these things bigger and bigger and bigger. They keep growing every single year. Qatar is no better. And this is who Mark Carney's doing deals with on the other side of the planet.
At some point, we need to take notice and to be coherent in the sense that we have regional interests.
Yeah, whenever Bloc MPs or Quebec MPs cry and bitch about things, it's kind of just like, all right, you guys decided to vote with them every single time. So, are you going to stop eventually, or are you just going to keep doing it? I don't know. The Bloc just love to cry. They just love to whine. I don't know at this point. It's kind of a joke party. Always has been, realistically, but they're just going to beg for more money and then cry when they receive that money, and then cry about not taking the resources out of their ground. Cry about the climate, then cry about not receiving money again, and then they'll receive more money. But right now, they're talking about building a train from, what was it, Ottawa to Montreal or somewhere in Quebec. And it's like, who the fuck wants this? Who's asking for this? Is it just to appease Quebec? Is that what it's for? Like, I don't know at this point. Why are we building this massive rail line? For people transportation, out of everything. We're not building anything else. We're building a fucking rail line. Okay. That makes sense, I guess. Okay.
If 75% of our trade is with the US, we have common interests. And even if we disagree on certain point, we should be able to serve our common interest first and foremost, before anything.
There you have it. Some common sense from the Separatist Party out of Quebec.
Anything else. And I don't think that's what the Carney government is doing right now, and I'm pretty worried about what's going on.
Yeah, well, the Carney government, he's just trying to inflate the Brookfield price. That's all he's doing. Moving ahead here, though, we've got Mike Pompeo out of America saying Mark Carney's decision to pivot towards China is a grave strategic and moral error. Beware any leader who would sell out his country for a mess of pottage. One could argue that Canada isn't Mark Carney's country, really. I mean, he's born here, but he's 91% invested in America. Hardly a Canadian. We got Melissa posting this. While the rest of the world understands the potential threats from China, Canada pushes forward to get closer with China. We see UK finds kill switch in Chinese bus brand used in Australia. That's right, Britain's security services have found a popular Chinese electric bus on Australian streets could be switched off remotely from Beijing. Now, this whole EV story out of China gets even more bizarre here as we have this Tesla poised to be early winner as Canada opens doors to Chinese-made EVs. So it turns out, and Mark Carney mentioned this, and I was a little bit confused when he said it, before the tariffs came in 2023, we were already getting Chinese-made EVs, but it turns out they were Teslas out of the Shanghai factory because they're made cheaper there, and then they send them here, and even with a 6% tariff, it's much cheaper than sending the ones up from America here. So we were already getting Teslas before from China, and Tesla's the one to take advantage of this situation because they already have something around 40 Tesla stores across Canada. They already have all the infrastructure. They have the sales teams. It's all set up. They can just send over their Teslas now out of China and take advantage of Mark Carney's deal here. As Mario pointing out, their vehicles are already built for Canadian standards, and they're the ones who imported nearly 45,000 cars in 2023. As he says, given how much the left is anti-Musk, this is incredibly amazing and hilarious. Yeah, it's like, I don't know how many Chinese spy vehicles will be coming in. It's mostly just Elon Musk that'll be taking advantage of this, and I don't see BYD or Huawei or whoever building showrooms here and selling their cars. So we'll have to see what happens. There's numerous automakers that have facilities in China.
Why would we want that? Why would we, if we are so worried about China spying on us just with them bringing vehicles over alone, why are we even considering a factory being built here and them building the very cars we're concerned about here? Why are we even fucking considering this? My God. Doug Ford mentioned it as well. He's like, well, they're just going to build them over in China, and they're not even going to bring the factories over here to build them so we could do this. It's like, why are we even considering that if we're so worried about literally the article he just fucking brought up? Where is it? Where was it? The kill switches used in Australian buses. And we're going to just, okay, yeah, let's let them build these things here. Let's just let them build EVs here. Why don't we focus on fixing the relationship with the US? And then, you know, our biggest market, our #1 market for autos. Like, let's work on that and fix that instead. The United States isn't going to buy Chinese automobiles on top of the fact that they're EVs. Nobody wants EVs. There's thousands of them sitting in lots right now, and they can't sell them. The government last year, in October, was giving $10,000, $11,000 rebates to try and incentivize people to buy them, and people still weren't buying them. Nobody wants these damn things. You know what? It's funny. They're gonna bring over thousands, tens of thousands of Chinese EVs, and they're gonna sit in a lot and spy on each other, because nobody's going to buy them. Nobody's going to buy them. And now we're upset that China isn't coming here to manufacture them? Like, come on, people. What are we doing here? Let's build gas and diesel-powered vehicles. The regulations on them are already through the roof. They have to be net zero this and that as it is already. So let's just continue to manufacture the very gas vehicles that are on the road right now. Simple as that.
We got Melissa posting this. While the rest of the world understands the potential threats from China, Canada pushes forward to get closer with China. We see UK finds kill switch in Chinese bus brand used in Australia. That's right, Britain's security services have found a popular Chinese electric bus on Australian streets could be switched off remotely from Beijing. Now, this whole EV story, or Huawei or whoever, building showrooms here and selling their cars. So we'll have to see what happens. There's numerous automakers that have facilities in China, and I don't know if BYD and the Chinese ones are really going to take the jump here, or are they going to try to sell them through another company like Hyundai or whoever? And just a visual here, Mark Nixon posting this, Canada to Doha, 11,200 kilometers, literally on the other side of the planet, where we got Vancouver to Toronto, 3,300 kilometers, Vancouver to London, 7,600 kilometers, or Vancouver to Tokyo, 7,600 kilometers. years. So as he points out, why is this our new trading partner when they're almost as far as possible away from our country? We can be sending boats over there, sending them our goods? No. Carney did this deal to help Brookfield, help them save millions of dollars. Moving ahead, we've got Canada's immigration system has hit a breaking point. It is absolutely bursting at the seams with over 1 million people in the backlog waiting to be approved into Canada.
Last fall, Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada released the number of applications that it was wading through. And, you know, as we mentioned, there were 2 million applications, but
1,006,700 people waiting in the backlog. And this is back from October 31st, 2025. It'll be more now. You can't make this stuff up. This is how incompetent our government is. We don't have houses for these people. Do I have to do the math again? It's something like 3,500 people per day that they're letting come into our country, and we build a fraction of that in homes. No wonder things are so bad around here.
just over 1 million are in backlog. So the federal government says AI technology.
And how many of them are reaping benefits from the taxpayer? Right? Like, how many of them are claiming asylum and then receiving money? And they're just on a backlog. It's insane. This country is... It's an interesting one. That's for sure. It's an interesting one. We're either going to be fully bought out by China, which is happening right now. They're slowly but surely buying up every single part of our industry. Or eventually the US is going to take us over. Slowly but surely, right? Like Alberta will leave, and then one state after another will join. Or we'll eventually become, God, I don't know, some country over in the Middle East. Very slowly but surely. That's happening as well. The religious power struggle it's real. It's happening. That's why they're bringing all these crazy laws in place, right? They're trying to censor religious this, that, and the fourth. It's getting larger and larger now. Because believe it or not, religions don't coexist. They just don't. There's no churches over in the Middle East. And if there are, very few. Probably underground as well. And I don't mean literally under the ground. I mean like secret. So there's a lot of things that are going to happen in the next 5 years. When 2030 hits, man, it's going to be... I don't even fucking know at this point. I don't think anybody can accurately predict what's going to happen. I would rather be the US than China as well. Absolutely. But there's people in this country that think the deal with China is... There are people in this country that think the US is worse than China. And that just shows you how far we have fallen. At one point in time, the Trudeau liberals were running away from China because they are so bad. And now the very people that voted for Trudeau are sitting there with Mark Carney going, this is the future. China is good. It's either we become the States, China, or like India at this point. That's the future.
Is going to help clear this. But just how effective is the system we have? Where does this leave people who are kept waiting? And how long does it take to go through 1 million applications?
Yeah, we can use AI to delete that backlog. That'll help us. We don't have doctors for these people. Canadians don't have doctors. There should be an automatic trigger. Once Canadians don't have doctors, immigration just goes right to zero. And that's it. Once we get some more doctors, we can open it back up, and it should have that system for everything. If there's not enough houses, it just goes right to zero.
A long time.
Like how many years could those people who are in the system be waiting? 5 years, 10 years?
It depends on what type of program you're applying for. But for example, take a spousal sponsorship. Those have increased by about 200%. Parents, grandparents, those have increased by about 400%. The issue is, will the government even process them all? Or will it just sort of cancel applications? Will it cancel entire programs? They've given themselves that authority, which feeds into the predictability aspect. We need to have a predictable system. This is what investors want. This is what businesses want. This is what individuals need in order to have faith in our immigration system. And to your point, over 1 million applications in backlog, and you referenced AI technologies. At this point, it's not solving the problem. If anything, it's resulting in some very wonky decision-making at best, suspicious at worst. So they're not there yet on the tech front.
He talks about predictable. Mark Carney's doing deals with dictatorships wrapped up in human rights violations and slave labor. Yeah, nothing's predictable in Canada right now. We're not doing oil and gas when we have it. We have a province in Quebec who has tons of oil and gas themselves and then takes transfer payments from the province that does oil and gas. It's time to grow up and become a serious country.
Canada, we know, is focused on nation-building projects, and in order to meet those, we need workers. So how prepared are we for this sudden need in skilled labor?
Well, if you just go based on the numbers the government has proposed, we're not prepared. In fact, I made this comment some time ago that it's interesting to me that we're reducing these numbers at the exact same time that the same federal government is announcing some much needed nation building projects. And you know, who's gonna build them?
Well, Rick, their argument on that is that they want those jobs to go to citizens who are already here in the country. What would your response to that be?
We don't have them. We don't have enough of those people. Sure.
No, we don't. The Liberals have brought in gangsters that are attacking those people. They're not bringing in doctors, engineers, construction workers, plumbers, and mechanics. They're bringing in a bunch of goons that are stealing people's cars and trying to end people's lives.
We have a very intelligent, educated, hardworking workforce. We just don't have the numbers. And when you're talking about some of these projects that they're announcing, these are massive, massive projects. So it's not a matter of Canadians not being good enough or not being willing to take the work. It's a matter of we just need more people to do them.
Rick LaManna, partner at Fregman Law and board member.
We need to cut the immigration to zero for the next 5 years. And then when we open it back up, it's literally only the doctors and engineers, the construction workers that get to come in. Moving ahead, we're going over to Greenland, this whole situation. But first, we have Donald Trump commenting on his peace plan in the Middle East, where countries have to buy in $1 billion. He's trying to go around UN and make his own UN, and countries are figuring this out. And so somebody commenting here that Macron was saying he would not join his board of peace, and then he threatens a 200% tariff on him.
Do you have any response to President Macron saying he will not join the board of peace?
Oh, did he say that? Well, nobody wants him because he's going to be out of office very soon. So, you know, that's all right. What I'll do is if they feel like Costo, I'll put a 200% tariff on his wines and champagnes, and he'll join. But he doesn't have to join. If he said that, you're probably giving it to me a little bit differently. But if he actually did say that, but as you know, he's going to be out of office in a few months.
Donald Trump throwing his weight around here. I mean, Macron...
he's not wrong. This macaroni guy over in France, like, everybody hates him. Nobody likes him. And as soon as an election comes, he's not winning. And if he does, there's a lot of questions to be raised.
Being out of office soon is a good thing. So Macron's in his second term. They're 5 years long, so he will be out of office around May 2027, so still a year from now. Now, moving over to the Greenland situation, we've got Denmark deploying more troops. This is just getting so ridiculous. Like, come on, guys. You're not going to have a battle. Like, just enough is enough.
Yes, ja. Welcome to.
It's actually kind of sad because the United States went into Venezuela and did the most swift and smooth operation in probably years. And now we have what is this, Sweden? Dude, come on. Like, what do you expect to do? The US is a literal military superpower. They have an army like no other. What do they expect to do? Like, oh my god, man. What are they thinking? You know, it's kind of funny as well because I know people that are serving, I'm not going to mention anything beyond that, who have said, and maybe their minds have changed since then, but they have said, just let the US overlords take us, because what the hell are we going to do? We have fighter jets from the mid-1980s. And the US controls our airspace when things goes wrong, when anything goes wrong. When any threat happens, the US is taken off and already there way before we even know what's going on. Need I mention again, our jets, our fighter jets are from the 1980s. Like, bro. Talk about out of date. Talk about out of date. Nearly 50 years old. 50-year-old fighter jets. And the US is coming out with new technology every year. Even China has more updated, up-to-date fighter jets than we do. Like, I'm sorry, our military has been neglected for so long. It is a joke. And most militaries, like this one we're looking at right now, I gotta go back to the beginning here. Literally what you said in the chat, 20, 100 soldiers at most. Like, come on, guys. What are we doing here? Look at what they did in Venezuela. And Maduro was preparing thousands of troops. Thousands and thousands. And you're going to show up with a measly 100? If the US were to actually invade, they'd show up and everybody would just put their hands in the air. Like, let's be real.
This is not a serious situation here. Trump is just going to make them an offer. Everyone should just step back and let him go in there and make his offer. How much money is it going to be? $100,000 a piece for the people of Greenland? If that doesn't work, offer them $1 million a piece. There's a price that they will take. Now, we've got a poll going around of Greenland voting on whether to join America. And we see the results here is 85% said no, 6% said yes, and 9% said don't know. But this poll isn't really all that valuable because this was done in January 2025, as in a complete year ago when Donald Trump got into office. And initially people were just like, oh, I don't want to be a part of America. And that's all this really was. If we look at this from the perspective, say in January, someone comes to you and said, hey, let's go jump in the ocean, go for a swim. You'd be like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. But what if they throughout the year said, hey, we should go swim in the ocean. You'll feel really good. We'll do the polar plunge. Throughout the year, your friend keeps telling you about all the benefits. You know, it will help flush out the brown fat, which is the bad fat in your body, and it helps create new neural pathways in the brain. You'll feel refreshed. You'll be forcing yourself to do hard things, which strengthens your mind against doing other hard things in your life. A bunch of people will do it. It's a good thing. And come the next year, when it's time to do the polar plunge, well, now that idea has been planted there. People have time to digest it and think of all the benefits. That's where we're at with this. That's why this poll from a year ago isn't valid anymore. It has no mention of Donald Trump offering $100,000 a person, not to mention the people of Greenland had no idea about the landscape, the benefits of America. So really, I'd like to see a new poll where the money's involved, because I bet you it would be close to 50-50, 60-40, something like that if it was $100,000. If it's $1 million,
and I gotta correct myself. I said it was Sweden. It's Denmark. My bad. That's all the same up there anyway, isn't it? Like, let's be real.
And I bet it'd be closer to like 65-70% saying yes and 30% saying no. Not sure that poll is coming though, but we'll see what happens because, well, population of Greenland, 57,000, not exactly a lot of polling firms wanting to spend the money to do this. And while we're talking about polls, we got this one here. It says, preferred response to U.S. invasion. If Canada were to face a situation in which the United States would use military force against Canadian territory, what do you believe would be Canada's primary response? In national, it says 59% said defend itself militarily, even if the odds of success are uncertain. 24% saying avoid military confrontation, make concessions, and then 17% says I don't know. But if you look at liberals saying 73% of them would fight the Americans, or if we look at conservatives here saying 47% would say avoid military confrontation, 38% saying fight, and then the NDP is even worse here, 78 to 8%, and then the bloc nearly split. I thought,
holy crap, the NDP are warmongers, man. What are they doing?
Funny, Cosman posting this, never underestimate the liberal boomers' bloodlust and willingness to send young patriotic men to the slaughter so they can preserve their home equity. And that essentially...
I'm not going. If he starts calling, I'm not going. I don't give a shit. You kidding me? I'm not putting my life on the line for Mark Carney. What the fuck?
Actually lines up with what we saw out of Victoria, that user article that was submitted to that newspaper saying that we should pause the pew pew buyback program so they can arm up to fight the Americans. This is not happening. Trump's not rolling in with tanks. He's not sending in army to capture us or to steal our
and that's the real thing at the end of the day. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And like I said, if it does, I'm not going. I'll happily go to prison. I don't care. I'm not fighting some ridiculous war here. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to die for Mark Carney and liberal boomers. I'm okay. Thank you.
water, all that crap that Mark Carney was putting out during the election. It's all fear-mongering for votes. And while these other European leaders are doing their share of fear-mongering, look what we have in the streets of France. We've got Senegalese and Moroccan gangs take over the capital, forcing local residents to cower indoors. Meanwhile, Macron talks about defending Greenland from Donald Trump. These guys can't even clean up their own streets. Like, look at this madness. This is complete madness. Like, people running for their lives. France is not a safe city at all. Once a place of romance and beauty, it is now just a place of dangerous migrants from Africa and the Middle East. And Canada's not much better here. We've got David Jacobs posting this. Tonight in Toronto, as children try to sleep, anti-Semites are harassing a Jewish neighborhood. Of course they are, because they're allowed to. They get away with it, even though they're breaking the law. What happened to that Gaza peace deal? And it's the same thing in the UK. They can't clean up their streets. They're allowing this stuff in. Here we've got a migrant going out.
It's a mess everywhere with that crowd. All right, I'm going to call it here. What a nightmare. What a nightmare. They're really trying to rile everybody up right now and just divide everybody even further. And that's what the mainstream media does. And they are very, very good at it. They are very, very good at it. That's going to do it for me, though. Thank you for joining on YouTube, Rumble, and Kick. 2026. Parliament will be returning in the next 6 days, I believe. Let me pull up the schedule. I believe it's the 26th. Yep. Next week. Big return. It's going to be exciting. Exciting for all the wrong reasons. I think we can all agree. But anyway, adios, everybody. Take it easy.
After a police officer and poking the officer with a knife. So you can see here, I don't know if the officer gets injured, but so the guy has a pokey in his hand, and that's where it ends. I mean, these European leaders need to clean up their own